Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. I am Nakia. And if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing after you see this video, or you could do it right now. You can feel free. Either way, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel to grow. Apparently with YouTube, that means the most these days. Thumbs up and comments. So you can also comment below. I do respond to each and every one. To any new subscriber, thank you so much for joining my channel and all my lovely comments I get through the week. I say this all the time, but they really do make my days a little more special. I appreciate them all so much, as I usually try to tell you in the comments. But let's get into what you came here for. You saw the title. You saw the thumbnail. We are here to talk about being a slow reader. Well, let me let you get to the intro and then we'll come back and get into the chat. Okay, so as someone who is fairly new to Booktube, I just started my channel in November of 2020. I just started reading again after a long hiatus at the end of 2020, like October 2020. But as someone who is fairly new to Booktube, there are things that I've seen being in this community. And there are things that I love and there are things that have given me a little bit of anxiety. And one of those things is what we're going to talk about here today. Another one of those things I've talked about in a previous video, I'll link it here, that has to do with minimalism, all that good stuff. I plan to do another talk about that later. But again, for this video, we are here to talk about one of those things that, like I said, has brought me anxiety, and that is feeling the need to read an excessive amount of books per month. If you search on Booktube, matter of fact, if you're here, you probably already know, when you look at people's wrap-ups and TBR videos, they take pictures, they have these thumbnails with stacks and stacks of books. And I've watched videos where people say they've read like 30 books in a month or 20, whatever. And I'm like, I struggle to get through 4. So when I say a slow reader, I don't mean slow as in like you struggle to get through a sentence, you know. Any learning disabilities, that's not what I'm here to discuss. That's a whole nother topic that I know nothing about. So we are not here for that, darling. I am specifically talking about, like I said, when it just takes you longer to get through a book because life. This topic came about because I was having a conversation with another booktuber, Juan Valencia, new friend. And we were just talking about, he did a video, my experience on Booktube so far or something like that. And he was saying that that was one of the things that he noticed being in the Booktube community and that kind of kept him from wanting to talk about being part of the Booktube community. I hope I'm saying that right, Juan. But so we kind of chit-chatted in the comments, and he was saying that he's had people comment to him about being discouraged from reading because they only read like a page or 2 a day. And I was like, I don't want anyone to be discouraged from reading because that is the main reason I started my channel. I am here for the regular folk. Now, I didn't even know about this whole Booktube community until I got on here and started searching for books to read. And then I saw all these people posting videos about books and I was like, well, I want to get in on that too. But my main objective for my channel is to encourage people to read more and unplug from media as much as possible. I say it all the time at the end of every video. So if people feel discouraged because they feel like they can't keep up with what a lot of the big booktubers are doing and their reading amounts per day, per week, per year, whatever, that is something I wanted to speak up about because, as I said, I have felt it too, being a new booktuber. Last month, February, I actually spoke about this in many of my recent videos, but I didn't get as many books read as I wanted to. And one of my books, I ended up, it kind of bled into March. And I was so stressed out about it because I was really trying to stick to my, I can't remember if I had 4. I think I had 4 books for that month because I knew it was a shorter month and I was taking a trip that month. So I kept my list a little bit shorter, and I made the mistake of taking one of my books that I was most anticipating on that trip, and I should have kept it, I should have read it before I left because I was just busy. It was a trip. So it just really stressed me out. And my daughter was even like, why are you worried about it? Just read what you can. And I'm just like, no, I have a goal. I have to stick to it. And it was also a thing of, I have to report back to YouTube. I have to report to Booktube and keep up with what I said I was going to read. No. So like, honestly, after talking to Juan, I've seen a couple people mention it here and there. Cameron Chaney mentioned this in a video recently where he said he didn't get a lot read in a month and he is a slow reader. And I was like, thank you, because I feel like not enough people talk about being a slow reader. And like I said, slow as in it just takes you longer to get through a book. I don't think I'm a slow reader as far as like I am slow reading, because I think comparatively when I actually sit and read, I do get through things pretty quickly. So I don't mean in that way. But I do reread sentences sometimes because I didn't fully get it the first time, or I may have just been like spaced out for a second and no, I didn't absorb it. So I'll go back and reread it because I am reading to enjoy. I'm not reading to have a quantity of books read each month or for the year. I mean, I set a goal on Goodreads because I just want to try to get to that number, but I'm not like, oh my God, I got to get to that number, or I got to read a certain amount of books each month. And it's funny because even if you search here on YouTube for slow reader, all the videos that show up are about trying to become a faster reader or a better reader. And I was just like, wow, I really need to get my video out there because no one is just talking about being okay with taking your time. So I just wanted to do this video because I wanted you to know, if you are a new booktuber or you're already in it and you find yourself being stressed out, or especially if you just like reading books and you just come on here to enjoy Booktube and what people are recommending and hearing what people have to say about books, take your time. Don't worry about how many books you read per day, per week, per month. You can hold me accountable, because even as I do this video, I have a book that I was reading, Carol House by Darcy Coates, and it's just taken me so long to get through it. It's almost 400 pages, and it's just not something I'm that excited about. When I am excited about a book, I do get through it quickly. I talked about Binti by Aniti Okorafor, and I got through that book. It was 90 pages. I got through that book in like 2 hours. Do I know if that's considered fast or not? No. Do I care? No. But I flew through it because it was so good. I just ate it up. But when there's a book that's just not as interesting to me, or for whatever reason, I'm just not being called to it, it takes me forever to get through it. So like I said, for Carol House, I was like, you know what? I'm going to pause, put this aside, and go read something else, because that book would probably drag me down, which is what people call a reading slump, where I understand it will take you a long time to get through a book. You're just not that into it. So you just stop reading. That used to happen to me all the time back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I mean like maybe like 7-8 years ago, when I used to try to read. I would pick up a book, read a page, put it down, never go back to it. And then it was just like, I just wouldn't even want to go back to it because I felt like, what's the point? But if a book is not interesting to you, move on. Find something else that is. Who cares? We are here. I am here to read for fun. I'm assuming if you're watching my channel, that is why you're a reader. So put a book aside, DNF it, move on to something that is more interesting. And again, if life gets in the way, I said this in my How Do You Find Time to Read book tag, that I work full time. I'm a mom. I have my cats, as you know. Yeah, so I read when I can. I get the most reading done on the weekend if there's not anything else going on. But during the week, I get through maybe like 10 pages a night. And that's because when I get off work, I like to take a nap so I can get things done at night. I'm usually tired from getting up early. So yeah, I'll read before I take my nap. And like I said, I'll get through like 10 pages, maybe 15 if I'm lucky. So by the time the weekend comes, I may have gotten to 100 pages of the book, maybe. And then I'll get through the rest on the weekend. But like I said, that is fine. I get through the books eventually. And as I said, if it's more going on in the book, more suspense or whatever, I probably will get through it faster. I try to enjoy time with my daughter. I try to squeeze in, Booktube. As I've said, I love watching YouTube. So, my whole life is not reading, believe it or not. I mean, if this was my job, I could get way more done. But I just watched a vlog of my homie Kasha, where she got through Stephen King's Later book in a day. That's like 200 and something pages. And I was like, I don't think I could ever do that. so far, I have not read a book that would make me sit a whole day and read. I just don't think that I could do it. Bless her heart and anybody else who does it. I love watching her vlog and people who do read like that, but that is not me. I don't see that ever being me, and that is okay. If that's not you, don't worry about it. Whatever you are doing to read, it is fine. If you are just reading comic books, if you are reading magazines, whatever, just as long as you're reading. Bottom line, just enjoy and read what you can when you can. And as I said, if you are not enjoying a book, put it aside, move on to something else. You're not hurting nothing. You're not hurting nobody. So that is all. I hope this was concise and, you know, I got all my points across. And yeah, please feel free to engage in a witty banter in the comments. You know, you can comment, tell me how you feel, if you disagree, agree, whatever. Like I said, I'm thinking about calling these book chats, unpopular booktube opinions or something, because I feel like I'm usually talking about things that go against the mainstream narrative here on Booktube. So, you know, we'll see. But for right now, I'm just calling them like book chats. But yeah, anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful. That is always my main goal. And yes, we're going to wrap this up. As always, get cozy in your hideaway with a good book. Unplug as much as possible. Take care of yourself and don't worry about how many books you read. Be kind to all kind. And until next time, I will see you later. Bye.